Peace. Welcome back to another reading. Today I am going to be reading Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, titled, "The Abundant Life is a Service Life." Verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Not only did God send Jesus Christ as a sacrifice to save humankind, it was also a demonstration, an example, if you will. We will never be able to live a flawless life, but the example of Christ is something to strive toward, to be like Christ, to live like Christ. It's not necessarily something that's attainable, because human beings by nature are flawed. We are full of sin. So we will never be able to be sinless or flawless in the eyes of God. But we have a perfect example of a life to strive for. And it may seem far-fetched or unreasonable to most people, who are thriving in their chaos, who are, clenching on to their sin as a form of identity, more or less an excuse to continue doing wrong, to continue making the same mistakes over and over again, knowing very much so that what they're doing is no longer serving them, if it ever was in the first place. Touching back on the notes at the bottom of the page, it goes into, to live abundantly, you must serve the Lord Jesus Christ, who himself became our example. He served all the way to Calvary, and there he was the obedient servant, obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. The first and second verse of Romans chapter 12 is literally there to urge believers to take those steps to walk like Christ. And this, in turn, leads to a more abundant life, more fulfillment, if you will. It says, you are to present, to surrender to the perfect will of God. Even though you may not know God's perfect will for your life, it is on your part an act of faith. You are to present your bodies. God must control and use the whole man. It goes into talking about God using you as a vessel, opening yourself up to the possibility of miracles and God's work itself flowing through you. Let God be God. I saw this in a video recently. Shout out to Shantia Deja. I've been following her for a few years now, and she had a word the other day where it went into let God be God. You don't need to force things. You don't need to do the most. Let God do the most. Just be present. Just make yourself available to be of service, to be of use. And God will work through you. God will flow through you. Then it goes on to a prayer. I pray God, your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of Jesus Christ. Your whole man was redeemed on the cross and sanctified, set apart for service. You are to present your bodies as a living sacrifice. This is exemplified in the life of the Apostle Paul. He was a living sacrifice. In life, he was a servant of Jesus Christ. In battle, he was a warrior. In the will of God, he was a prisoner of Jesus Christ. These words are spoken from a Roman prison. He never referred to himself as a prisoner of Rome. To the apostle, the prison was a part of the perfect will of God. With this conviction, he lived abundantly. The power of God has the ability to transform you, it gives you the ability to transcend the desires, the fleshly desires of this material world that we live in, the distractions, the temptations, the pleasure, the things that, the forces that drive the typical man will no longer be able to compare to the freedom and the peace and the abundance that you get from walking with God and living a life of service. Man. Yeah. So I feel like that's a great place to wrap it up. I feel like that's a good place to wrap up for the day. Like I said, I just wanted to get on and give y'all a quick word. I like when the videos tend to flow a bit more organically. I like when they don't feel scripted or staged or forced. I'm going to continue to produce more content for y'all. I'm going to continue to spread the word as much as possible. I just pray that God continues to use me as a vessel and work through me and flow through me, continue to shine his light through me and illuminate the darkness. This life is beautiful, and there's a lot of darkness and evil and destruction and negativity that is alive and is very real, but it doesn't need to consume you. So, all that being said, I hope y'all have a great rest of the day, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, following the journey. I appreciate the love and support. I appreciate the positive energy. And yeah, just continue to do what you need to do, man. Yeah, y'all have a beautiful day, man. Peace.